So in this video, I'm going to show you how to go from having a bathtub to actually having a shower that's actually big enough for two. What you've got to do first is remove the tub. I'm assuming you know how to do that. I'm going to show you how to change the size of the drain and build this threshold so that you can actually install a shower pan. Now in this video, we're not going to install the shower pan. We're going to do that in the next one. In the end, I'm going to give you two big tips that'll help you build an amazing shower. So remember, if you haven't done yet, please subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss out on anything. And if you know anybody that is possibly thinking about changing a bathtub into a shower, give them a shout and let them know this is the video they need to see. All you've got to do is share it with them. So the first thing that we need to look at is actually the drain. So after you've actually pulled the tub out, now this is our trainer, so it's going to look a little different than your house, but we've got our tub spout, we've got our valve, we've got our shower head here. Now, of course, we're going to change that because, well, we don't need a tub spout. But one thing that could be done, and I've seen this before in custom homes, they've actually lowered the tub spout down to about 6 inches off the floor. So when they turn on the water and it gets hot, it actually warms up the shower floor before they get in. Now that's actually a pretty cool deal. And a tub spout, of course, flows faster than a shower head, so the hot water could actually get there quicker. Now, on my personal shower at home, I've got the Ladybug that actually shuts off the hot water at 95 degrees. So I just turn mine on all the way to hot, let it run till it shuts off, go in, pull the string, hop in, I've got hot water there and I haven't wasted a lot. Now, let's jump back into this. So the first thing that we're gonna do, if this was a tub, chances are it's got an 1.5 inch drain on it. So we're gonna have to change that around. We're actually going to have to cut it out, cut out the 2 by 1.5 inch sanitary tee. I'll tell you what, let me grab one. So here's what we're talking about. Now, a 2 by 1.5 inch sanitary tee is perfect for a tub. The 1.5 inch drain comes over, catches the 1.5 inch P-trap, comes up to the waste and overflow, and it handles it just fine. A shower is required to be 2 inches. So you're gonna have to find out how to change from this to this. Now, it's not really hard to do. What you're probably gonna have to do is come down below it, cut it to where you can remove the sanitary tee that's there, install a 2 inch, put in a short piece of pipe, a little nipple there, tighten everything up, test it to make sure it doesn't leak. Now, one thing you want to do too is try to turn it so that it's pointing right towards where you're gonna put the shower drain in. So once you figure out what you're gonna need there, you can go ahead and go get your materials. Also, you're gonna need a shower drain. Now, what we're gonna do on this one, we're actually gonna put a 2 inch drain right here in the middle. Now, we've already got the drain, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark it. That way, I can cut the hole out. We can actually set the drain down in it. Okay, so this is the Odie 2 inch shower drain, and I gotta tell you, this is one thing I like about Odie and the things that they're doing. This is something that you can take out, but you don't want to lose it. This is actually a plug that you literally just put in, twist and lock. Now you can test this. Now later, whenever we put the shower pan in, which will actually be another video, you're gonna want that because you're gonna want to be able to fill this up with water and test it. Then once you pass test, literally twist it loose, pull it up, and that water will drain down. So let's go ahead and mark this to get it started. Okay, so what we've got is we've got an opening that's 60 by 30.5. Now, for bathtubs, you'll normally find anywhere from 30 to 32, somewhere around in there. The thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark 15.25 inches off the back in about the center. Now, that's got me to center of the overall opening, but I'm actually gonna have to put a ledge across here so that I can bring the shower pan up and over. Now, I'm gonna bring it up to the front edge. That way the towel will go right flush on the wall there. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark the width of a 2 by 4. Then I'm gonna measure again and say, okay, I've got 27 inches. So I know I'm gonna go 13.5. Okay, so now from the inside edge to the inside edge on the 2x4s, I've got it marked. So no matter how thick the tile is here, it's gonna be the same thickness here. So I know I'm still gonna be dead center of the tile. Now, one thing you can think about here, what if you want a custom drain? What if you want, say, an infinity drain that runs from one end to the other, or maybe you even want it on the backside or a smaller one up across the head? This is a great time while you're converting your bathtub to a shower right now is the time to upgrade this to whatever you want. Now, I don't know if you're gonna put glass doors, shower curtain, whatever you wanna put over here on this front threshold, but the thing to think about, if you want body sprays, if you want an overhead rain shower head, right now is the time to do whatever you want to do because it's going to be a lot easier. It's going to be a lot cheaper. Where if you wait till you're done and then you're like, wow, you know what? I wish I had a body spray head in there. And let me tell you why that's such a big deal. Converting over a bathroom and remodeling it and making it where it pops, it catches somebody's eye. You never know when a possible new homeowner is gonna come in, look at that shower and say, wow, you know what? I want that shower. So that's why now is the best time to do any upgrades, anything cool that you can possibly think of. So we marked our center that way. So now we know we've got 60 inches here. So we're gonna come in and mark our 30 right here. Double check off the back wall, we're 13.5. So we're gonna mark 13.5. So what we've done, we marked our 30 inches and our center. So we're center to center both ways. So now I'm gonna get the drain over here. Normally on a shower, before you put the shower pan in, you're gonna put a mud base. So you've got little lips here. You can do two different things. You can cut your hole big enough to go all the way around. That way they set flush in there, and that's what we're gonna do. But I have seen some people just cut a hole around the outside and let the shower drain actually set up just a little bit, and then they mud right under it to level up. Well, I know I want this to be the lowest point of my drain, so I want this to be as low as possible. Now your shower pan will actually set right here above it on this material, and I'll show you more about that in a minute whenever we install it. But later in another video, we're actually going to install the shower pan on this and show you what that looks like. So what I'm doing is setting everything right where I want it. Now I'm going to look at the outside edge to end. I've got almost 3/4 of an inch. So now I know if I will cut 3/4 of an inch in, everything will set in down flush the way I want it. Now it's as easy as connecting the dots. They do make hole saws big enough to do this. And remember, this is a wood base, so this would be like doing it upstairs in a house. If it was concrete, you would actually have to chip out the concrete to run the pipe wherever you're gonna run it. If that santee was over here, you may have just chipped out straight across. And you only really need about a 6-inch wide trench and then enough room at the end to actually put your P-trap in. Now we're gonna do all that in a minute, but I cut that out with a jigsaw and used a hole saw to make my starting hole because that's what I had here in the shop. And as you can see, that drain sits in there nice and smooth. Now different things here. Since I'm working with wood, I'm gonna go ahead and screw this down to the deck. Now it's gonna be covered up with the shower pan, so I've got pan head screws. They're gonna go down into the drain, and it's not gonna put anything up there that can rub on that. But I also wanna go ahead and double check my measurement to make sure I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Now, two things to notice. Anytime I'm working with wood, anytime there may be shavings, I've got my safety glasses on. I'm also wearing latex gloves just to make sure I don't get any chemicals, anything on me. Now, what we're gonna be looking at here is, we know where the vent pipe is over here, so we know that that's where our sanitary tee is gonna be. We also know that our P-trap will be right there and pointed straight at it. Now, we can do this a couple of different ways, but I like to go ahead and pull my measurement from right here on top because I know where I'm gonna be and what I'm gonna be doing. You can actually go to the manufacturer's website and see exactly how long the takeoff is. But what you can also do is measure from center over and realize that we're gonna take off 2 1/4 inches for this fitting. You can also look at your P-trap. And so you're gonna take off 6 1/2 inches. So we take 6 1/2, 2 1/4, that gives us 8 3/4 inches. So now at that point, really, all I have to do is measure center to center. And if I line up center on the pipe and center on my drain, I've got 33 inches minus 8 3/4 inches gives me 24 1/4 inches. I hope that's right. Leaves 24 1/4. Jackpot. So now all I've got to do is cut a piece of pipe, glue everything together, and then this drain is actually tied in. The hardest part about this is if you have to convert that over from 1.5 inches to 2 inches, because then you're actually going to have to get in and modify the existing plumbing system more than you are so now. So let's go ahead and cut our piece and start gluing this thing together. Now I stuck a little piece of pipe in here to help me line this up. I know that I want to point right straight at it. So go ahead and get my glue on my fitting and on my pipe. And then I'm gonna get it right where I want it. And you always want to make sure you hold your glue joints about 30 seconds so that glue can cure up. That way it doesn't hydraulic out on you and push back down. I'll go ahead and stick the P-trap on just to get the measurement. A 5-inch piece will give us exactly what we need. You always want to try to leave yourself a place where you can rotate the pipe while you're putting it together. That way you can get a quarter turn rotation on your glue joint. It'll help that glue joint seal and you won't ever have any problems. So the only two things we have to do now are cut the 2x4s for the threshold. So we've got them marked at 60 inches long. Get here and cut them and install them. If you're turning this into a shower and you've got a hole in the wood here, take a couple of 2x4s, put across, put screws in on both sides, cut a patch to fill that up, and then whenever you put your mortar in for the shower pan, you won't have a big gap there. And you don't want to let somebody just step down through that. So what did y'all think? Is this something that you can do at home? Now, I didn't show you how to remove the tub, but to be honest, tub removal is not very hard. Once you disconnect the overflow and the drain, you want to be very careful doing that. You don't want to just grab it and jerk it out. You're liable to tear the plumbing out. Now don't get me wrong, you're gonna need to upsize it anyway for a shower, but big tip number one, disconnect everything, then pull the tub out. Big tip number two, remember, this is the time to change this into an amazing shower. You can actually put rain shower heads, body sprays, multiple valves. I mean, think about it. This is really big enough for two. I mean, if the tub is, the shower is too. Make sure you subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss cool projects like this. And again, if you know anybody that you think might be interested in remodeling their plumbing, share this video with them. I'm Roger Wakefield, Lead AP, the expert plumber. I'll see you in the next video if you don't get flushed.